Hey, it is your favorite remote work enthusiast, Delilah. I am excited about today's video. I literally say that every single video, but I really like what's happening here. This entire week on my channel has been dedicated to helping you all get connected with TTEC's work from home opportunities. In fact, they have over 2,000 work from home jobs that they're looking to fill ASAP. And I've been sharing those leads all week on my channel. Now, today's video is extra special because I know that a lot of us want to get hired, but we have questions about how we can actually make that happen. So I had the honor to talk with TTEC's head of hiring. Her name is Miss Vicki Steere, and she gave me all of the juicy details on how you can make your application stand out, what you can do in the interview, the onboarding process, what to expect, everything. And this is gonna be so helpful if you've been loving these leads and you wanna get on with TTEC. So I'm not gonna delay. We're gonna slide right into that interview. But before we get there, if you haven't already, now's the time to go ahead and hit the subscribe button and make sure you tap the notification bell so you can stay up to date on the latest work from home opportunities. I share weekly work from home hot leads on my channel. I do this Monday through Friday, and I share a lot of interesting and awesome content all about never going into an office. So if you want to make money from the comfort of your home, then you definitely need to hit subscribe and tap the bell so that you don't miss out on any of these videos. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Hey everybody, it is your favorite remote work enthusiast, Delilah. I am so excited today because we have a special guest. So far this week on my channel, we've been having TTEC Week. They have partnered with me and have been so kind to bring you all of these hot work from home opportunities. And I am so excited to have Miss Vicki Steere here because she is going to talk to us about how we can land these hot work from home opportunities from TTEC. Hi, Vicki. How are you doing today?
Hey, Delilah. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for doing this because I know my audience is really excited about all of the opportunities that TTEC has to offer. And I want to give them the information that's going to help them land these online jobs. So before I even get to all of those burning questions, I want to know, how is it that TTEC has over 2,000 plus opportunities that they're hiring for? It's a pandemic, isn't it a job shortage?
Well, honestly, going into the pandemic, I was floored. I was surprised, actually. We were looking at, oh my gosh, our clients are going to be pulling back. We're going to have to, slow down our hiring. Of course, a lot of our, we also have traditional brick and mortar sites, but a lot of those brick and mortar sites were having to, protect safety and make sure that everyone's health was a first priority. Surprisingly, we ended up moving 35,000 employees globally to work at home from a traditional brick and mortar site. Then our clients came to us and said, we also need to do this. We need this. We need to be able to deploy individuals to be able to work from the comfort of their own home and be able to take advantage of this during this essential time. Companies like financial institutions and your telecom, your bank, your government, they all went, these are essential jobs. We need to take care of our customers. And so we ended up in less than 2 months hiring 15,000 employees.
Whoa.
From the March to June timeframe. Now we're coming back into the seasonal. And, while we've continued to hire 1,500 people a month since then, we're now coming into the seasonal, and now the retail is coming on board. The banks, again, are saying we've got an additional uptick that we need to do during the holiday season, and everything is moving online. So between September, October, we're going to be hiring about 3,500 new employees.
Oh, wow.
All for work at home.
Oh, wow. 2,000 plus, 3,500, I'm just amazed at these numbers. I do have a question following up with what you said. You mentioned that you hired 15,000 people within
Yes.
that short time span. Just
Correct.
from a logistics purpose, like standpoint, how do you manage that many onboards? Like, how do you do that?
We have an amazing team, and they are able to flex very quickly, very efficiently. When things like headsets, you're wearing a headset, your headset right now, things like headsets became a shortage. So we figured it out. We pulled them from all of our sites. We did all types of grassroots efforts to pull together this Herculean effort. The Herculean effort actually won us a Stevie Award for that, because of that moving of individuals and really focusing on not just what was important to the business, but what was important to the people first.
Right.
And our CEO was the first to say, it's time. Everybody has got to go home. And we've even pushed some of our clients that were hesitant to do so and said, this is the right thing to do. And so we're going to take care of our people and do that first.
That's awesome, because I know a lot of companies, even at this point in the pandemic, are still hesitant to move from their brick and mortar site to being like remote. So the fact that TTEC was so good at pivoting, that just lets my audience know that you all have the infrastructure to support them and all of these new hires that you're bringing on. So I know everybody has the burning question, what does TTEC look for in a candidate? Like, they see all these opportunities I've been posting all week, they've been applying. How can they ensure they get to that next step?
Well, let me tell you, first and foremost is the technology. I know that that's kind of upside down. Yes, we want to have the right fit, but the technology is absolutely essential. And it's really not that difficult. So most of us do have high-speed internet at home. The first thing that will happen when you apply with us is you'll get an invitation to take what's called our ISA, or the Initial Systems Assessment. And really, this is not a scary thing. Simple thing. All you have to do is plug your computer directly into your router. I know most people don't do that. They've got Wi-Fi at home. However, you take that little old cord, looks like the old phone cord, but it's a little fatter, and plug it directly into your router, take the Initial Systems Assessment, takes a few minutes, and all it does is check your computer and your internet speed and say, yes, that this is somebody that is capable of doing this. I realize that a vast majority of people may apply on their phone, but that's the one thing you'll have to do on the computer that you plan on working on. And then, once from there, it's a pretty simple process. Once you've gotten that, you'll then get a quick assessment from us. You can take the assessment either on your computer or on your phone or on your tablet. And then the next step, once you've passed that, is that you'll be sent an invite to one of our what we call interview sessions, but they're really almost an offer session. It's really, you've passed the basics. And because of the volume that we're doing, and you talked about infrastructure, because of the volume we're doing, there is a lot of efficiencies, attached with that. And so take some responsibility. Take that next step on your own. Make sure that you check your email. Make sure that you follow up. Make sure you schedule yourself for that interview. And you're moving right on to being a TTEC employee.
Wow, there's so many things that I want to ask from what you said. Okay, so you mentioned about people need to check their emails and have their communication open because the next steps are coming. Do you have a general time frame for when people can expect that next email or that outreach from TTEC to come after they apply?
Sure. Usually it's within 24 hours.
Wow.
I would say most of the time it's usually within less than that, maybe except for Sundays, because there is, a group of individuals that do the basic validation, make sure that you're eligible to work in the United States, that you live in one of the states that we hire in. By the way, we do hire in all states except for Hawaii, California, and Illinois, and New York. So if you live in any other of the 46 states, we're hiring.
Can you tell, not to cut you off, but I get asked this all the time whenever I share a lead. People say, why not California? Why not New York? Is there a reason why TTEC can't hire in those areas?
Well, honestly, it's because of the employment laws. The employment laws in California and New York are kind of, I'd like to say it, but very litigious friendly. And so that's why we exclude those 4 states. But we're happy to hire in the other 46 states.
Yes, understood. So when they get that email to move on to the next steps, and I guess it's like an interview, is it face-to-face like this where your camera is on?
Yeah, you'll have a Zoom interview. We do ask that you turn on your camera. It will be a group interview. So you'll see that there are between 8 and 15 other people on the call with you and the recruiter. The recruiter will go through all the basics of the job. What are the hours? What are the requirements? What you can expect? What is the training? All of the essentials that you'll need. And then they will ask some questions, just like you would in an individual interview. You'll go through, some of your background and how you interact, and they're looking for that. Are you able to articulate on the phone what you would be able to do in person? And so, yes, in typical, we do ask you to turn on your camera, but it's not an absolute requirement either. You're not going to need that camera most of the time when you're working. For most of our programs, there are a few that they do want the camera on because of security purposes. Just like I'm sure you would appreciate that your bank is protecting your personal information, they want to make sure that they're protected as well. But that's the interview. It's usually about 45 minutes to an hour long. And right then and there, you'll know whether or not you've moved on to the next step. Oftentimes,
really?
Yes, the basic right there is we're asking you to interview us as much as we're asking, as vice versa. We want to make sure that this is the right job for you. So if the hours just aren't going to fit you, if the pay is not right for this particular job, that's okay. Just because you decline that job doesn't mean it means that you can still be accepted and open for the next one that's available. So I want you to understand that as well. Same thing. We want you to interview us just like we're interviewing you.
That's such a good point, because my audience is always asking me, like, I have multiple offers on the table. What do I do? And I let them know, like, hey, you're in kind of like the courting process. If a schedule or a training doesn't work for you, it's okay to let them know that. And that's actually better because you're not wasting anyone's time. Now, something else about the interview that I know people are wanting to know, what should they wear if they're going to be on camera? Any tips?
Sure. Hear up. Sort of like the old, it's party in the top.
What about the background?
The background is important. So I'll quickly turn my camera. You can see if I turn my camera, the light just went right incorrectly, if you will, inappropriately, that it was, that's a window that's right behind me. And if I have to be aware what's going to go on back here. One of my favorite bloopers from a Zoom was a woman that was on the camera. Her husband knew she was on camera and tried to elbow crawl behind her. Like this.
I've seen some crazy Zoom bloopers.
Yeah. So be aware of what's behind you. You can see I have a pretty basic background. You've got the green screen, which is always fun, and the ability to do some specials. Zoom backgrounds are always fun. But do think about what's going on behind you. Also think about the environment around you. So pets outside, kids behind the closed doors. Make sure that you have the quiet workspace. And that's part of it too. When you're going to be working for us, it is the assumption is that you're really working from an office. And so you'll need that quiet work environment long term. I get it. I understand that, especially in today's environment, there are several people that are working from the home. You have to find that spot where you're able to kind of close the door, that's just like clock in time.
Right.
As if logged into your office, that's the spot you want to be, and make sure that those pets are outside, that you can't hear the doorbell from where you are, that the kids understand that we're at work right now.
Right. So kind of moving towards the future, after someone's taken the assessment, did the interview, they've received an offer and accepted, what can they expect from the time that they receive the offer, the time frame from when they receive it to when they start, and what would be some tips to get them off to a great start in training?
Sure.
Kind of a loaded question.
Sure. Well, there's multiple pieces there. So once you've accepted the offer, there is some steps that you have to take. You have to go through our onboarding, which is all online. It's accepting it's giving us permission to run your backgrounds. It's making sure that you're I-9 ready, which is, that you are eligible to work in the U.S. Those types of things, you need to take those steps. There are some of our programs, not all of them, that require a drug screen. So you might have to just take that one step to get out of the house and go to that still. But remember, every place that we work with does take your safety and health into their first priority. Mm-hmm. So there are some steps that you need to make sure on your side that you do take. Typically, it's anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks from the time that you're offered the position to the time you will actually start. And you'll know that again once you're in that interview. This is the time and date of your first training. There are a few other steps again that you'll get, and you'll get some additional emails from us. One is what we call the meet and greet, and it goes in and asks you to go and check your computer one more time. So let's say it's a computer you haven't used in 2-3 years and it needs some Windows updates. That's all that's doing, is checking and making sure that you're going to be efficient on your day one, that you've got that ability to get right off and started. Day one of training, they will give you all the details. Again, they'll give it to you verbally in the interview, as well as you'll get it in your inbox along with your onboarding. So you'll be able to follow the instructions. Just take some time, follow the instructions, and it goes pretty dang easy. Your first day of training may not be the most exciting. I'll just share it. It is about all of the things making sure that you're signed up for your benefits, making sure that you have your direct deposit so that we can get you paid quickly, mm-hmm. That you've gone through additional technical assessments, making sure that you've got your headset all set up, that we can test all those things back and forth, and then you'll go right into training. Depending on the program, the complexity, etc., training can be anywhere from 1 week to we have programs that go up to 7 weeks, and you are paid for all of that training time.
Awesome. Yes. And the first day for most jobs, that's how it goes. So I think people are used to that because you do want to get paid and you want to have all those benefits set up. So not a problem with that. Well, thank you so much, Vicki. Is there anything else that me and the audience and everyone should know about TTEC? Anything you want to add?
Delilah, this might be a completely separate video that you use sometime in the future, but I know that you've had several of your viewers that have talked about online fraud scams. And it's a personal passion to me because TTEC and other legitimate companies like ours that have real work at home opportunities, those scammers can use our names, and they do use our names. Our logo is out there. I want to, just from the heart, tell your viewers that if you're ever concerned, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Come to us, check. We will never do a Google Hangouts. We will never give you an offer we might communicate with you via text, but we will never give you an offer via text. Mm-hmm. So please, 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 I encourage you and implore you to encourage your viewers to watch out and be careful and protect yourself. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
That's a great point to add in the perfect way to just sort of wrap this up, because there are so many scams going on right now. The pandemic has made everybody come out the woodwork, and companies like yours are impersonated all the time. So when people get communication from TTEC, what should the email domain be? Should it be like TTEC jobs?
Yeah, you'll either see teletech.com or TTEC.com. You will never see a Gmail address from one of our recruiters. You'll never see a Yahoo. It will be, the most common that you'll get are job opportunities at TTEC.com is what you'll see all the common communications come from. But all of our recruiters have an @TTEC or an @teletech.com email address.
And would they also be on LinkedIn too? Like you could find them on LinkedIn?
Absolutely. You can find us on LinkedIn. If you ever question it, come to ttechjobs.com and there's several ways to connect with us on our contact us page. We have live help, so we have live help operators on there. We have an email address. We have phone numbers for our local sites. So please, if you're ever not sure, check it out.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Vicki, for your time. This has been so insightful. And for everybody watching, make sure you apply to the jobs at ttechjobs.com because they are hiring and it sounds like an awesome company to work with.
Thank you so much, Delilah. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Vicki. Bye.
Bye.
All right, there you have it. Wasn't that so helpful? I really appreciate Vicki and TTEC taking the time to chat with us about how we can land one of these many work from home opportunities that they have available. And all of the information that she mentioned is totally transferable to other companies too. You want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward with the application, the interview, and all of the other steps in between and beyond. So if you enjoyed this interview and you thought it was helpful, let me know you like this type of content and I'll do my best to bring it to you, but you gotta hit the like button for me to know you enjoyed it. And don't forget to share this video on your social media with your friends and family because they may also be interested in TTEC. And this is a great video for anyone who's looking to apply. Like this is kind of like the cheat code to making sure you get hired. And then finally, if you are in need of help with your resume and cover letter, because we know that's our first foot forward, then definitely check out my free on-demand resume and cover letter webinar. The link is in the description box below. It's about 90 minutes long and one starts every 15 minutes. So you never have to wait long to enter the room. And in that webinar, I'm going to teach you things that you can do to improve your resume and cover letter today. And I talk specifically about making your resume and cover letter for online jobs. And there's not many people who are talking about that. So if you need help with that, it's free and you just gotta click the link in the description box below. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful and I'll be back tomorrow with some more hot work from home opportunities from TTEC. Bye.